Live again with Gav Tia, and let's make sure that we got everything going right. Okay, making sure I can hear everything. Mic's not muted. Probably would help if I turn the volume up so I can hear it. There we go, okay. Let's check on YouTube. This is the thing with having double streams. There you go. Okay. Looks like the sound's going well on everything. 160p. Oh my gosh. So, I'm looking back through all of this activity feed. If you weren't here Saturday night, Twitch went bananas. I got raided by a group from Pump.fun who decided to find a random mom on Twitch and go give her a Mother's Day gift. Well, I happened to be the one they found, so it was just... it went nuts. Like, I suddenly had like 100 people in the channel, and they had made a meme coin called MamaCat. I was dying laughing. It was so hilarious. So I wanted to do a shout out to the Pump Fun folks, because that just made my day. Rob the Master one, you're awesome, man. You're awesome. I so appreciate all the bits and the gifted subs, and actually helping me get higher on my subscribers so I could work towards the affiliate status. That was like super helpful. So, just a moment, please. All right. Okay. Just making sure we've got everything covered. Sorry, apologies for taking time on this. I'm still learning how to run Twitch, and it's like there's so much to learn. And it's like, holy cow. All right. It's too quiet, it says. Twitch says I'm too quiet. All right, let's go. Let's go. I got things announced in the channels I need to get them announced in. I'll figure out some system at some point, but this is like fourth time I've streamed on Twitch, so it's a learning curve for sure. But it's fun to learn. Dig Site Chief. Now I just did the final Shadowbringers Alliance raid the other night. And so it completed this quest. So we're talking to Dig Site Chief. Lolly, that scared the shite out of me, ho. These guys are hilarious. The tower just up and disappeared. It sort of folded in on itself in the blink of an eye. Glad to see that you're safe, though. Ooh, I get all these orchestran rolls. Nice. Relieved as he is that you and Kanog are safe, the Dig Site Chief wishes to know of Anog's fate. So, what happened in there? Well, Anog decided to go through the portal to the other world to kind of deal with stuff on that side. So she's not coming back. Well, I won't pretend I understand half of that. Can't say metaphysics is my area of expertise. Still, I knew that those androids in white and their weird orb were trouble. And you're saying that you gave them what for, so they won't be coming back, which is good, right? Glad to hear it. Thanks for risking your neck for us. Where's Anog, though, and your android friends, for that matter? Seems like they should come back with you. We can say nothing, or we can say, I'm sorry. No, she... But why? It just don't seem fair. I was holding out hope, you know, that everyone would be fine and life would go back to normal. I should have known better, sure, but... someone will need to tell the villagers. Again. As for Kanog, can you speak with him? I managed to talk him out of running back in there as soon as he woke up, but this might be better coming from you. Or maybe I'm just a coward. Okay. Speak with Kanog in the excavation tunnels. Now I gotta give more bad news. Although I think he already knows. You're back. But where's everyone else? No, she can't be gone. She wouldn't leave me forever. But if she did, there'd be no one left to... A letter from Anog? Kanog, I've been to another world. I've seen it. Her handwriting's better than mine. Aww. What does she mean? The world, they're constructs? That's hardly a reason to run off on her own. She could have... I would have... I have something I need to do, so... That watch belongs to the chief's wife. I found it when I was clearing rubble earlier. It was broken, but I went ahead and fixed it. She'd probably like it back, so can you give it to the chief for me? I suppose, or wouldn't they be happier if you delivered it yourself? I can't. I need to... Never mind, I'm sorry. Appreciate all that you've done for us. If only I was as strong as you are. Maybe someday. Okay. Deliver the repaired watch to the dig site chief. How'd it go? Eh? Something for the missus. Ticking timepiece, a treasured heirloom belonging to the chief's wife, kindly repaired by Kana. I was half expecting some sassy little comment there, too. Wicked White! We thought this was gone for good. She'll be glad to have it back. It's all she has left of her parents. Why didn't Kana come in person, though? He must know we'd want to thank him. No, not him too. It seems that you once again have caused to comfort a distraught dwarf. Just feels weird to wipe my nose on stream, even with a tissue, right? He left a letter of farewell. He's gone. I wish I could have done something. Anything. We've lost them both, and it's our own fault. We drove them to this. This can't be right. What do you plan to do about it, or what is right in the end? Well, Gav's the more practical type of guy. I don't know what I should do. I don't know how to make things right, but the villagers need to understand that we can't keep on like this. They might be better listeners now that they don't have to live in fear anymore. Hang on. I can't believe that's the case, that is. Would you mind sticking around? It'll seem more credible coming from the both of us. I'm here for as long as you need me, or how much does this position pay? Let's see what happens there. That's right. Took you for an aspiring gate guard at first, didn't I? And we've been nothing but trouble to you since. Not sure there's enough money in all of Comrade to compensate you at this point. It's fine, I'm happy to help, or I'll also accept eternal gratitude in the right to ominously reference debts to be repaid. It's steal then, but I do hope we can pay you back someday. For now, wait here, I'll get the villagers. Wait for the chief to return. Now that we're all here, I have an important announcement. Gav has put an end to those machines and their plot. This means the danger's past, but more importantly, that it's time we look to the future. We'll need to come together. Glag says, "Hold your iron frogs, even if those things are gone, this ain't over. Culprit needs to be brought to justice. How can you expect people to move forward if we don't set an example?" Demanding Dwarf says, "That's right, we want to see consequences. Death, mutilation." And they all clap. Oh my god. Chief says, "Do you really?" Yeah, they do, really. We need to talk them down or we'll never get anywhere with this. Bloodthirsty bastards. It's a pretty piece of music there. I'm so tired of this, I haven't done anything that you can prove. Hurry up and punish somebody already. The most prudent course is to cooperate with Glag and rid the village of the guilty party. Then everything will be as it was. Will it? Is it really prudent to follow harm with cruelty? If it weren't, Glag wouldn't have suggested it. He's the elder, he knows how these things work. If not, then... Oh, don't be ridiculous. What does Glag say? Folk will never accept that. It just ain't a satisfying conclusion. You can't force one person to shoulder the blame for all of this. Some things are bigger than all of us, Glag. Hey, justice should be swift. Hello! Justice should be swift and decisive, I say. Nothing is so satisfying as the headsman's axe coming down. Justice isn't about personal satisfaction. And if it comes down on the wrong person? At least we'll be able to put this mess behind us. Forget the whole thing. I can't think about it anymore. I just can't. All we need is one or two people to take the blame, then the rest of us can go get back to our normal lives. You'd build your life by destroying others, or are you planning to volunteer? Why should I? I've done nothing wrong. No, not a single thing. Sure. Okay, making sure I've got Only needs to do what Glag says, right? Then he won't blame me, and whatever happens, it won't be my fault. Well, you think that won't... You think that will protect you, or no, this is a choice you must make yourself? But then it'll be my responsibility, no matter what happens. Someone else should be the one. The sooner we do away with the culprit, the sooner we can all relax. You know I'm right. Glag thinks so too. You'd change your tune if the finger were pointed at you. The blame could just as easily fall on someone you love. Ha! That probably won't work on me. I don't have anybody to worry about. No family, no friends, no lovers. I don't have anyone. That's depressing. You don't understand. I can't be held accountable. It's better this way. Trust me. You do trust me, right? No. Not really. I'm right. You'll see. You'll all see. Forget I said anything. Is Glag have anything new? No. Well, they've settled down a bit at least. Thanks for that. Still sober, eh? Then I'll ask, what do you reckon we should do? Stop this before it's too late? Whatever doesn't involve me hearing everyone's opinions again. How should I know better than any of you? Yeah, I was gonna say the middle one. Just as long as I don't have to listen to everybody again. Demanding Dwarf says, maybe the outsider's right. We'll never agree on who should take the blame for the attack, which means the real problem is Glag. Decisive Dwarf says, I did feel a lot more confident before he started telling us to listen to other perspectives. He's been trying to turn us against each other, but he's the elder here. Shouldn't he have seen our village's fiery destruction by skybound machines coming? What? No. No one could have foreseen this, no matter how wise they are or how hard they try. No one's right every time. We all made mistakes here. Believe me, Anog, Kana, Glag, the whole lot of you, and me. All of us. We failed each other. Gav goes, oh boy. Alas, there he goes again. Yes. Let me guess, we're going to have to go up to the village. Now that's just cowardly, dismayed dwarf. Well, don't let him get away. Me? Make a mistake? Never. Now what? If doing nothing is just as wrong, then maybe it wouldn't be so bad to make my own choices. Okay, let's go back up to Camera. Factory entrance. No, we want to get out of here. And so we walk to the end. Welcome. Lolly, sorry you had to see that hoe. I may not be cut out for public speaking. I wouldn't give up on putting Camera back together, though, in whatever way I can. I don't know what we should have done, but there's nothing for it but to try and do better, day by day, moment by moment. Yeah, well, he's right about that. Sometimes all you can do is, you know, go, okay, I really made a big mistake, and I gotta live with the consequences, and all I can do is move forward from here. Need some help with that? Of course you do. Admit, I feel better knowing you'll be around. Pardon me? Doomsaying Dwarf says, I was thinking about what you said and I realized I probably haven't been the most helpful. I'm choosing to try harder from now on, and if you need another pair of hands... You're more than welcome to join us. Though I'd say we're all past due for a little breather after all that's happened. Take a rest. Chief's orders. Doomsaying Dwarf says, understood. I'll be just over there then, with my thoughts. Yes, not a problem. He's a little odd, but he's got spirit. I look forward to putting the both of you to work, at your earliest convenience, of course. Comer wasn't built in a day. The dig site chief eyes you expectantly. Lolly, thanks again for offering to help us rebuild our village, ho. So, are you rested and ready to begin the work? There's no time like the present, or not just yet. I still have worlds to save and packages to deliver. Sure, why not? That's, wonderful. I can't tell you how reassuring it is to have you with us. Now, to begin with, we need to discuss how we're going to tackle our task. If you could join our nervous friend over there, I'll be along after I see to some preparation. Okay, we're gonna go chill out with the Doomsaying Dwarf here. It's come! My doom has come! Doom! Oh, it's just you. Sorry. Force of habit. Or so, is it time? To rebuild, that is. Not doom. Everyone's here. Good. Let's get right to it. I have an idea that I want to run by the two of you. In order to rebuild, we're going to need lots of supplies and willing hands, neither of which we have a whole heap of at the moment. But then I thought, what if we availed ourselves of the technology used by the machines? With the wealth of parts they left behind, we have all the materials we need to rebuild and upgrade our automata to do the work. Not only would it be practical, since we'd be using the force behind our destruction for our salvation, it's also poetic. For your part in this, Gav, I'd ask you to venture into the tunnels and gather those items that might be useful. You can count on me. Whatever you find, you can bring to our friend here. He'll examine the objects to see how they might be put to use. That's about it. So what do you think? Sounds like a plan. I wasn't paying attention. Could you explain it again? Had a few too many ales, did you? After recent events, I don't blame you. Anyway, let me explain it all again. Okay. Good. With this, the rebuilding can finally commence. We'll prove to everyone that you can't keep us dwarves down, maybe, except maybe with copious amounts of grog. That's been an issue historically. I love these dwarves, man. They're hilarious. Well, I'd best be getting back to my post. Without someone breathing down their necks, our miners are liable to stand around with their thumbs up their arses. If you have any questions, you can direct them at our friend here. Between you and me, we're probably doomed to fail, but if it's going to happen anyway, there's no point in delaying it. That's to say, if you're ready to begin, then so am I. weekly quest, which continues the story, is now available from the doomsaying dwarf in Kamra. Lend your aid and help the dwarves of Kamra to rebuild their home. Wonder if he unlocked custom deliveries. All that grinds is not gloom. Doomsaying dwarf wishes to send you to gather machine parts, and definitely not to your doom. Ready to go to your doom? I mean to get to work, are you? Good, good. As per the chief's instructions, your task is to gather items and machines left behind that might prove useful for rebuilding our village. Do you know any suitable places for this? The machines have a base deep in the tunnels, or there's a ruined factory strewn with machina. Oh ho! That sounds perfectly forbidding! While you're out there searching, I'll get my tools ready for dismantling. I look forward to seeing the spoils of your foray. Obtain salvage in the copied factory 02. Does that mean I actually have to go into the... I don't know if I have to actually go into the copied factory, the copied factory alliance right now. I'm like halfway finishing my sentences there. Let's see. Fall off and hear him go, oh. Oh, great! They got us running all over BFE. Nope, I don't want to go to Zone 1. I want to go to Zone 4. If they're gonna make us do this, it would be, you know, nice if they could just, you know, give us a quick port to the place we need to be at, you know? Machine lifeform wreckage. Deliver the salvage to the doomsaying dwarf. See what the doomsaying dwarf's gonna say. Want the XP on my summoner. That one is level 97. There you go. Well, drench my beard. I've never seen anything like this. It's not going to suddenly spring to life and strangle me, is it? No? Well, if you're sure, I'll set about studying it at once. I should mention that the chief was looking for you. It seems he has news to share. Something dreadful, I shouldn't doubt. Okay. Wait, there's more for us. Lolly, you'll never believe this. Ho, Gav. Something's arrived at the village for you from Kanog. Looks to be some kind of technological what's-it. See this gold pattern here? Haven't the faintest how you'd read it, though. This portable archive the siblings built should do the trick, or I have just the thingamabob for the job. Huh. So you just wave this archive at it? Well, there you go. Feel free to check it at your leisure. You know, it might be as Kanog's up and left the village, but the fact that he's still keeping in touch gives me hope that he hasn't given up on us yet. So I'll just keep doing what I can. I'll keep working to change this village into a place that Kanog would want to return to. Got lots of mountains to climb, and it's going to take a lot of time, but bit by bit, and with your help, I'm sure we'll get there. You obtain a message from Kanog. The message can be viewed in your portable archive, which is available under Collection in the Duty section of the main menu. I think I got it on my heart bar. Or not. It's under Collection. Actually thought I was done with that, but I guess not. Kanog's messages. Dear Gav, I hope this message finds you. I'm going on a journey to learn the secrets of the white spheres for myself. Maybe some of them will be of use to you. I'll keep a record just in case. Okay, cool. Okay. So I guess all that grinds is not gloom. It's not available yet. It'll be available 5/19 at 3 a.m. Okay. Let's go back and speak with Kryle. We're actually going to port back to Limsa. So, if we port to Sharlayan from here, it will cost 884. If we go to Limsa Laminza Lower Decks for 0, because I have that as my security key token. We can go over to the Arcanist Guild and take the ferry over for 400. And then I think I'm going to make Sharlayan my favorite. Tataru. What? Wait, what are you still doing here? I think I can book you passage on the next ship, though I'll have to revise the budget again. Travel to old Sharlayan. I must not have been quite done with the entire quest. Okay. I'm going to switch over to Summoner. Yeah. Alright, what does Alize say? That was about as awkward as expected. Still, we're here now, and that's all that matters. So we're continuing the MSQ now. We finished up the turn-ins for the Alliance raids from Shadowbringers. Alfino says, I'm fine, honestly. Better to be waved through with a stern warning than be denied entry, after all. Allow me to extend unto thee my warmest welcome, Gav. May the wisdom of my homeland aid us in our endeavors. Okay. Welcome to my home, Gav. I hope the wisdom in my home country helps in our, in our endeavors. Tancred says, even allowing that the years I spent in the first passed here in the blink of an eye, the city feels untouched by time. Ishtal says, you are doubtless eager to take in the sights. Not to worry, Gav. The city is not like to vanish before we finish our discussion. I love how they make vague references to the fourth wall, right? Here we are at last, the great city of Sharlayan. You may have noticed some similarities with the Crystarium, yes? In fact, but we really should let Kryl have her say first. We can continue this conversation at another time. You notice there's a lot of blue in here in Sharlayan. Of course, it's a port city, so a lot of times you get inspiration from the colors of the places around you. But I suspect Graha had included a lot of blue in the Crystarium because, you know, he liked Sharlayan. Estinian says, I am accustomed to fabricating lies on demand. Why should it matter how I earn my living? Kryl says, I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Horse chestnut weapon coffer. Wooden chest contains a weapon, one whose size possibly exceeds the dimension of its container. They have anything new for us? Nope. Kryl sweeps the scions with a speculative look. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Gav's and Estinian's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you may all have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldessian Annex. How does that sound? Elfino says, 'Tis a fine suggestion. We may not be welcomed at the Levair estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. Ishtal says, I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Tancred says, likewise. A quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetherite Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Kryl says, yes, we'll see you there. I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. Okay, you know, it would be sad if I didn't, you know, visit, you know, various places around here right away, if you don't mind. For those of you who don't speak, you know, early modern English. Kryl says, what of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary until we reconvene. I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But I could... Oh. And Estinian just walks off. Okay, I'm done talking to you. Bye. Kryl says, well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Graz. Oh, of course, if you'll have me. Come, Gav, Charlian awaits. Crowd says, oh dear, his enthusiasm is infectious, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. After you, my friend, I am more than content to follow your lead. While Grahatia is accompanying you, next try speaking with Kryl. Okay. Your next quest objective involves escorting. Learn more about this quest objective via the icon in the duty list. Certain duties require that one or more NPCs accompany you in order to proceed with the quest objectives, and you have to keep them at your side and make your way to a designated location. It's possible to ride mounts or swim while escorting NPCs if they will not appear at your side until you dismount or leave the water. You can even use teleport or the Ethernet within that area. You can speak with NPCs while escorting them, and you may encounter these conversation points that are either round or square along the way, which offer additional topics of discussion. Definitely do those. You get little extra lore bits, and some of the conversations are hilarious. And you may be given options to part ways, and that'll automatically change when that'll happen automatically when changing areas. So if we left Charlian to go anywhere else, we'd have to restart here at the starting point. Okay. All set, then let us be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. First stop is the last stand. It's a cafe on the western side of the harbor. Your next quest objective requires escorting. Okay, Kryl is now also accompanying you. Lead your two companions to the last stand and speak with Kryl at the designated location. Does she have anything else for us? Talk. Come on, let's head to the cafe. It may not seem so at a glance, but the last stand is actually a very important part of the city. And you'll find out why in a moment. Talk says, I'm grateful to have Kryl's help in reacquainting myself with this place. It's almost as if I'm seeing it all with new eyes, as you are. I believe I attuned to all the Ethernet shards. Yes, I did. All right. There's a spot over here, too. Wamemi says, greetings, traveler, and welcome to Charlian. If it's knowledge you seek, you've come to the right place. Who are you? I am Wamemi, an occasional lecturer at the Studium. I specialize in natural geography, including the history of the world's topography and climate transitions. I like to come here for a bit of fresh air between classes, but for some reason I'm asked for directions rather often, so I decided why not act as a guide. What is this place? Charlian is the city of knowledge, once a humble settlement founded by Archon Jungkrepf and the refugees he rescued from the great flood of the 6th Umbral Calamity. It has since flourished into the grand metropolis you see today. Prior to the Great Exodus, it was common among Eorzeans to refer to our Dravanian colony with the shorthand Charlian, which resulted in the colonists unofficially dubbing our homeworld Old Charlian, or the Old World. Alas, the name appears to have stuck. But old or new, we continue seeking knowledge from all over the world to record in the Bibliotheca Historica, among other collections of invaluable wisdom. Okay. Let's see what our companions say over here. Discuss the giant statue in the harbor. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliac Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Charlian people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliac was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, an alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as that of, say, the Ishgardians. Individual Charlians can, and do, worship the divinities of their choosing. So you can see the statue of Thaliac back over there. They did a really nice job on the detailing in this area. Now that is a sight one could hardly forget, the great statue of Thaliac. As a student of Baldessian, I am usually quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. So we're doing the usual get to know the city and learn about it. Does he have anything new for us? Ah, yes, the last stand. Now that is an inviting aroma. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlian tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland and encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf. The prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste a distant second. There was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlian, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Kyle says, because you were a typical Charlian when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha. But surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetheryte Plaza. Alright, let's take the shard up there. Do they have anything new? The students of Baldessian would send us to investigate phenomena in locations across the world, so our funds were always stretched thin, and any spare coin I had went to books that caught my eye. Food was the least of my concerns, though now, having lived through some rather harrowing times, I've learned what a fortunate thing it is to be able to eat your fill. What does she say? Go onto the Aetheryte Plaza we go. We just need to head up the stairs next to the last stand. I like how they, at least make unlocking all of these Ethernet shards slightly more interesting, or getting around the city. Some MMOs don't bother with that, right? You just have to figure out where to go yourself and learn things accordingly. The Aetheryte looks different from how I remember it. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, that it's perfectly functioning Aetheryte. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. That was one of the first things I did. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlian stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Allagan Aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was basically a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Charlian's largest marketplace. Oh, wait, I want to set this as my home point. And I think set it as a favored destination, actually. Okay. And the reason I do that is because the return takes 15 minutes to recharge, basically. So if it's not available, I at least can come back at a reduced rate, and we'll be coming back here often enough that'll be worth it. Oh. Here we had a place we needed to talk. Kryl, discuss the book stalls. These little open-air bookstalls are so uniquely Charlian. I'd always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Ryle says, only a moment? How optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return here later then. I know that feeling. I love reading. We like to have a little library in our house, basically, of books we've accumulated over the years. Although now I like read most things on my Kindle because I have Kindle on my phone. I can read anywhere, right? And I don't have to carry a book around. Anything worth cracking my coin purse for today, I wonder. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Charlian as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out. For the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? It's such a bad pun. On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one that has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetheryte Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs to that imposing building at the very top. So we have to go up to the Agora. I think it's going to be like 6 one, half does the other on whether we just run there or word up there. Because there's the conversation point I want to get to. This is actually really nice. I don't know if you guys can see the detailing really well. But they did a beautiful job on some of the decorations. You know, little lamps and filigrees and... It's a really cool looking place. What does Azumi say? Oh there, Gav. Surprised I know your name? Well, you shouldn't be. You're practically a living legend. Okay. Sinette. This is the Nymphaeum, a monument built in tribute to water spirits known as the Nymphae. Seems rather fitting for a city that erected a towering statue of the ruler of rivers, Thaliac, no? Oh, that's kind of cool. Discuss the water features. This is the Nymphaeum, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Charlians, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of the knowledge which flows from Thaliac's divine ewer. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. These little decorative features are typical of Charlian architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the Isle of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. Okay, now you keep going up the stairs. Graha says, what an invigorating breeze. Touch biting, perhaps, but pleasant nonetheless. Well, they are in the northern sea, so they have climate probably similar to the UK or Scotland, maybe. This grand structure before you is the Rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. Raha says, my apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the city of Charlian. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community. The Crystarium? I can almost see its echo. Kyle says, I see. Feel free to come here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. So where are we going next? Okay. Talk to Graha again. This neighborhood is home to the highest echelons of Charlian society. I never did feel comfortable enough to wander these streets on a whim. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Yimkref. Do you have any idea how hard that is to pronounce? Yimkref. Built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Charlian families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Levailleur. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlian tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Baldessian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Raha says, let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the Aetheryte Plaza? Correct. After you, Gav. I wonder if we'd be able to go in there right now. Oh, yep. Oh, I love this carpet. I wish I could have this carpet in my house. I wonder if it's available anywhere, but it's beautiful. This is the estate of House Levailleur. If you do not have an appointment, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave. You could say Beaucharles Dare. Charlian names are kind of a mix where they took a two-syllable surname, split it, and then put the first name in of various famous French personages. So this name is taken from Charles de Baudelaire, who was a famous French writer. The detailing in here is gorgeous. You can't go anywhere up here, unfortunately, but oh, there's a person to talk to, maybe. You see people in, like, suits cleaning. Oh, you can go out here. How cool is that? Nice. I didn't know that. Okay. I learn something new every time. I think, oh. I'm going to take that down to Journey's End there, because there's a spot to talk down there. Discuss Journey's End. Charlian is full of educational and research institutions, but there are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I ever attended the exclusive schools they run in these residences. Perhaps the twins could tell you more about them. Right, we crossed this bridge here, as I recall. Stick to the path and be careful not to end up back at the Aetheryte Plaza. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see where we gotta end up at. Okay. It's just, I'm gonna go to the Baldessian exit, or annex. Sabony? See that stylish, shiny new house there? It's mine! I'd say I was lucky to snag the plot from it, but no, I really do deserve it. Okay. And I like trying to buy up a house in Final Fantasy XIV. It's an exercise in frustration, let me tell you. Graha says, this is it, the Baldessian annex. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldessian annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive on the doorstep of Phenomenon, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you, then. I'm back, and I've brought Gav and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Gav. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Ojika? Ojika Sanjika? It's been an age. Hello, X-Moody. How are you? Have I considered streaming on Pump Fun? I didn't even know you could stream on Pump Fun, so I hadn't considered it, but I'm still learning how to stream on Twitch and multi-stream because I do YouTube also. And I started on YouTube, so it's a learning experience for me, man. I could probably add it to Restream without a problem, but there's a limit to how many chats I can look at one time, even though I've got the combined chat here, right? But I'll look into that. So I appreciate the tip. Cryo says, allow me to introduce Ojika Tsunjika, administration officer for the students of Baldessian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the annex. You may recall meeting his cousin, Ejika? Oh, yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's coming of the Isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. I can't remember if we unlocked Eureka or not. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Charlian. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodging for our members while we engaged in such activities. Thank you, Moody. Or Muddy? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, I will look. I will take a look at it. And thank you again for the tip. And the annex here was built to provide lodging for our members while we engage in such activities. Ojika says, ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. You know, they have never explained what happened to the Isle of Val, other than, I think in Eureka they're talking about it, but it feels like a big piece of lore that is missing, and maybe they'll turn it into another expansion, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if the Isle of Val ended up on one of the different shards, right? Kind of like the Crystal Tower ended up on the first. And something's ending up on the Evercold shard. And yet it feels so empty with so many lost to us. Our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we'll see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Thalaphoroi fail. Or fall. I guess it's fall. Either way. Through that door on the left is the main hall where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. Rahatia says, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon doze. We like our cat naps, right? Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. 'Twas simply that we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Ojika says, say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. Right, what does Graha have to say? Do you have papers pasted on the walls of your room? 'Twas not unusual for occupants to pin up notes or documents and such, and then forget to take them when they went on their merry way. Sometimes it was quite deliberate, though. You might see complaints addressed to other members, or a thank you card for the engrossing literature someone left behind. Do you see, it's like writing on bathroom stall walls, you know? So-and-so is a jerk. And then, somebody would add to it, and somebody add to something else, you know? I think my favorite comment that I ever read on a bathroom stall was, when incognito do as the cognitions do. Whatever. It was just... And of course it was on a college bathroom stall, because that one's a little... I mean, you have to know what incognition would be in reference to. It's a play on when in Rome do as the Romans do. Beloved traditions that I should know better than to dwell upon. If we are to create a future for the students of Baldesion and so many others, we must look to the days ahead. I have not gotten Graha's cadence quite right yet. Heartbreak of heartbreaks, I might have to listen to Jonathan Bailey some more. You can tell how heartbroken I am about this. All right. You can see the notes, put up on the walls here. Quite a few here. Nice. I got a crystal tower there. That's a nice view. Kugane's there. This looks like Azis La up here. This looks like Radzatan, which, you haven't been to yet. Alright. Feeling refreshed and alert, our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
In real people speak, that's, hey, I'm sorry I'm late.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroid's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum.
Inscrutable is one word for it. That's being, very diplomatic there.
As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
What could they possibly have that was actually more important than preventing the final days, right?
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
Uh-oh.
In response to this threat, the satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
Like, everybody looks down, right? And goes, oh no. And Estinian goes, what? Did I hear combat?
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts.
The artisans from Radzat-Han are heirs to alchemy, this ancient tradition of alchemy, but it's not like their Uldan alchemist
It
counterparts.
is possible nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
So it's probable that they, figured things out that Eorzean and Far Eastern allies haven't figured out or haven't learned yet.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Ah, hey!
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice.
Well, yeah.
But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnarian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Okay.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alize and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course! The more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavnair. Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavnair on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Alright, we're gonna go to Thavnair first. Because after chilling out in Sharlayan and doing a whole bunch of not fighting, it's time to go do some fighting, I think. Alize says, I still don't understand how the vote could be unanimous. What could possibly convince them all to turn their backs on Eorzea? Alphino says, if the Forum is intent on concealing its intentions, then a cursory investigation will avail us little, I suspect. We will need to dig deeper and with the greatest of care. Lest they be found out, yes. Getting into things they probably shouldn't be getting into. The process by which Forum members are elected is fair and equitable. Neither wealth nor social standing offers any advantages to a prospective candidate. But fairly elected or not, Master Matoya still found them all to be insufferable. Yeah. Probably most of them are, too. Graha says, our tour of the city was a pleasant distraction. I feel more than ready now to tackle the challenges of the day. Prowl is intent on uncovering the reason behind the Forum's inexplicable behavior. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up this other one first, actually. Stinian says, so it's back to Thavnair. Had I known earlier, I would have considered more suitable attire. Riange says, though I have read much on the subject of Radzatan, this visit shall be my first. 'Twill be interesting to see how the Hanish mean to contend with the tower, different as their magical and technological disciplines are. So, even though I've read a lot on the subject of Radzatan, this is my first visit. It'll be interesting to see how the Hanish plan to deal with the tower, as different as their magical and technological abilities are. Tancred is eager to set forth for Thavnair. I have Kryle's instructions in hand, and if you are ready to set out, then so are we. Stinian says, having been to Thavnair before, I can travel by Aetheryte. But what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Tancred says, Kryle was of the same mind, and has already secured the aid of the good folk of Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. And Riage looks suddenly very frightened. The Confluence, thou sayest. Confluence, you say? Oh no, Tancred knows too. I'm afraid so, my friend. Gav's going, what does that mean? Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee, owing to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbreda. Okay. You'll recall the search for Iceheart into her lair that we delivered you, because of the knowledge of our friend Moonbreda. Moonbreda was an authority on etherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Okay. Moonbreda was an expert in etherology. It's a field of study that she took up at her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. So Moonbreda's parents are also experts, and they're both researchers at the Confluence. Ingrid says, haven't you gone to see them yet? Riange says, I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. I said, I tried to do it earlier, but, to my embarrassment, I chickened out. As it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. As I had, thought about many times after I sent them the letter, informing them of Moonbreda's passing. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus have I kept to my silence. Time and thought haven't, given me the words I should say, and so I've not said anything. Justinian says, whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. So if you come with us or not, it's your choice. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. That's very thoughtful of Estinian, actually. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. Hey, it's nice of you to say that, but I have no intention of, backing out of our cause. I'll go to the Confluence, and I'll face what I have to face. It's long overdue. Oh, I know. I'm going to need a tissue box there, too. Ingrid says, if it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kite. I don't know if it's Kite or Kitty or what. I'm going to go with Kite. Kryle is intent on uncovering the reason behind the form's inexplicable behavior. An unsettling change has come over our Charlian, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the form's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Charlene's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day, but now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right, and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Well, we're gonna go visit Thavnair first. And that's typical. When you have a new expac, they often split into two routes to kind of keep it from each area from being too overcrowded as people, you know, a bunch of people join right at launch, you know. I was going to talk to the mender and I went, no, I can repair my own gear, which doesn't need repairing anyway. Oh, we've got a blue quest there. Let's go pick up the hunt for specimens. That might be a job quest, actually. Diminutive Gleaner. The diminutive Gleaner is on the lookout for an able-bodied adventurer. Do my eyes deceive me, or are you Gavtia? Yep, that's me. Well, as I live and breathe, it is you. Ha! I knew I'd be the first to track you down. Who's the guildship's top hunter now, eh? Wait, you have heard of guildship hunts, yes? They're not so different from the hunts you're familiar with in Eorzea, as I understand it. I'd wager they're rather more challenging, but an adventurer of your caliber would never turn down a challenge, would you? No, you would not. Pray, speak with Northoda at the Peristyle to register your interest at your earliest convenience. Oh, okay. Well, let's go unlock the hunt logs. Well, not hunt logs. Guild hunts. I am Northoda. Have you come to place a bounty on an unruly beast? By the scholar, you're Gav? I was half convinced I'd set the others an impossible task, asking them to find you. The Gleaner's Guildship has begun posting hunt bills, you see, in the hopes that capable individuals will take up arms to lighten our ever-increasing load. Unfortunately, capable individuals remains the sticking point. Few hailing from our fair Paulus city, basically, are willing to take up arms, let alone able to stand against the most fearsome specimens. You, however, have the experience and the grit that we need. When I heard that you had arrived on our shores, it was music to my ears. You needn't work for free, of course. We've done our research, and the rewards we offer are as fine as any you'll find abroad. The currency we employ is a relic of times when Gleaner was a great deal less figurative, so you may find it somewhat eccentric, but it's as good as Gil here. Speaking of eccentric, it should be noted that the majority of our clients are scholars. You probably won't have heard of half the creatures they send you after, but I find it's best not to worry about that overmuch. Slay beasts, collect samples, try not to think about the long-term effects of touching said samples, and get paid. Simple, no? That being said, I wouldn't dream of throwing you in the deep end just yet. Let's have you start off with some junior marks so you can get your feet wet. Guildship hunts, now accessible. You're now permitted to take bills for junior marks from Guildship hunt boards in Charleon and Raz-Zatan. Beat the monsters described on the bills and you'll be rewarded with tokens that can be exchanged for exclusive items. And if you want to do that, you can speak with Jalakshai in Old Charleon or Wilmeda in Raz-Zatan. Oh, Wilmeda's in game. New quests and associate marks will become available from Northoda and Charleon upon reaching level 83 and fulfilling certain conditions within the main scenario. Okay, so We'll have to fulfill certain conditions within the main scenario quest for Endwalker. Let's pick it up. You know what? I'm not even going to bother picking them up because, like, 90% of those places we can't even get to yet. Let's go to the confluence. I have a hard stop at like 5:15-ish. Because we're actually going out to a movie. A Hail Mary or something like that. Seems the old methods are simply not productive anymore. Darian. Researching teleportation magics is difficult in that it requires an abundance of space, which in turn requires an abundance of funding. Thankfully, we can use this public facility free of charge. Avalbane. I am researching the Far East Tenkanto. Here's a bit of trivia for you. It is made of timber. Is that not absolutely fascinating? My, what a mysterious and exotic land such a place must be. Honestly, it's not that fascinating. Kikimo. The study of teleportation requires a firm grasp of the fundamentals of ether, so I make it a point to study the papers of those who have come before me. I'm currently studying a treatise written by Eijika Tsunjika, truly a luminary of his field. This upcoming cutscene is a lot of fun. Or a conversation after the cutscene. Well, now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Would that was, you know, the biggest trouble we ever had in our lives, right? Ingrid says, not to our knowledge, our associates of Kryl. We are associates of Kryl and the students of Baldessian. We seek passage to Thavner and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Oh no. Ingrid goes, test subjects? Oh, you haven't heard? Well, then allow me to explain. So in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether hurtling along the life stream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetheryte without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Ingrid says, truly? That changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Charlie, and the other over in Yedlimad. Sorry, I apologize to anybody if I'm butchering that pronunciation. A port town in Thavner. I'll have to check it out. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Radzatan, and indeed, we owe much of this breakthrough to the contribution of their alchemists. Tancred says, so to sum up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Oh, not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true, and far be it from me to worry about such things, but do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission you're required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream, in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Kryle truly knows how to pick 'em. Oh yeah. You're going, oh no. Riange says, if I might change the subject, are Master Wilfson and Mistress Bluida not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Well, that's an interesting bit of information. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly. In case you were wondering, the Aetherite still functions like a normal one. It's just been upgraded to allow unattuned travel. I'll see you there shortly. Wait at the Aetherite Plaza in Old Charlian. I'm afraid. Stinian says, I shall teleport the tried and trusted way. Good luck. Tancred says, given my experience with teleportation, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have reservations, but I will trust in Kryle. Riange says, the words unsaid yet weigh heavy on my heart. I shall devote mine all to our task in Thavnir. Alright, so these unsaid words weigh heavy on my heart, but I'll devote my, my full energy to our task in Thavnir.
We're all set. Just the 4 of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please.
They look back and go,
Yes,
oh.
right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Oh, and one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
Might get airsick.
Thavner, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between two peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have?
Oh no.
What chance?
Uh-oh.
Against such an insidious foe.
Stinian just face palms. See our tunnel off to the left there, or tower off to the left. I don't know where tunnel came from. Oh no.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
And our boys are going, oh no.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions. Don't let a Stinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Oh no. It's like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait. You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time? We're going to attune to the Aetheryte before we do anything else. Severe nausea is reducing movement speed. You there, I need 3 drinks. Something that helps with ether sickness. The Manusia, a traveler. I mean, greetings. Greetings and welcome. You are wise, good sir, to come to me, as my special amralasi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of a warm welcome to Thavner, I am pleased to offer to you for the low, low price of 19,800 gil. For not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains. The price is high road robbery, and you want to say as much to Estinian, but you realize your words of warning may cry out. You realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. You must stand before Estinian and using gestures deny that the deal is fair. So we're gonna target him and hit the deny emote. It's like going, no! I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. This merchant is swindling me. The junk monger goes, whoa! Sincerest apologies, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of Lassie. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well, then, your coin. Oh, no. Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I think we still got ripped off there. I'll be back after I've explored the town. Special Amra Lassi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients. This Amra-flavored Lassi is supposed to settle unruly stomachs. Apparently we drank one. I'm going to talk to the Chocobo Keep here, too. What does Thancred have to say? A teensy-weensy touch, she says. Not even my hardest night's drinking comes close. That's pretty bad, because I am sure Thancred has tied one on really, really, really hard a few times. Ugh. Here, have a bottle of Lassie. Lassie? Is it Lassie, or is it Lassie like the dog? Praise be to the 12, my stomach doth loosen its death grip. Thank God my stomach doesn't have a death grip on me anymore. My heartfelt thanks to thee and Estinian, and to the fine fruits of this land. Ah, thank you to you and Estinian, and to this Lassie. You were in time? Excellent, you spared us Tataru's wrath. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Thancred, can I help you feel better? I suspect that your aid would not be appropriate for a family-friendly channel. Thancred is right. I'm ready to get on with it. That Lassie truly worked wonders. Justinian says, back on your feet, I see. Ryoji says, just want to rub his belly so it doesn't hurt. Ryoji says, thy hair? I have bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against this heat, short of shedding my armor. Thancred says, may I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's a Thavnarian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? Says Thancred. Stinian says, 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. 'Tis nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Alphino could hold a candle to you. You could say it's not uncommon for merchants to set their prices high, but doesn't it seem excessive here? Or are all Hanish merchants so unscrupulous? Or I expected the Azure Dragoon to put up more of a fight. We're gonna do that one. Riange says, on that subject, I shall refrain from making comment, yet I cannot help but observe that the merchants seem overzealous in their pursuit of profit. Okay, on the subject of what Justinian paid, I'm going to hold my tongue, but I can't help notice that the merchants seem to be pursuing profit rather excessively. Claiming Thavner as its dominion, the nation of Radzatan hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. So, with the Thavner as its dominion, the Radzatan has long thrived as a commerce hub. In the beginning, there were the Arkasodara, a Matanga tribe indigenous to this island. Okay, those are the Arkasodara, Matanga tribe that are indigenous to the island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hanish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over. Okay, so the Hanish are famous for their alchemy and textiles. Throughout the world, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. It's certainly helped by the nation being located as a very convenient waypoint between east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Radzatan, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Okay, all of that's combined to make Radzatan a great trading power, but that status can't be taken for granted. In fact, it has to be maintained through careful governance and, strict regulation. Tancred says, neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant. Oh, that opportunistic pricing is rampant does suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Okay, so the fact that this, the fact that they're able to take advantage and how rampant it is that they're taking advantage of people means that oversight is very weak, or perhaps people have fallen on hard times. Whatever the truth may be, 'twould be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. And whatever the truth is, it'd be wise to learn what's going on currently. Prudent and practical, aye, we've naught to lose by learning more. So, ere we seek out Kryle's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here at Yedlamad? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Now we get some Amralasi, which we can sell for 30 gil. Dinian says, is it truly so amusing to see my hair bound? 'Tis how I used to wear it, a functional fashion. Perhaps you were confused by how you found me following Nidhogg's demise. It had fallen loose after the Corrigians removed me from my armor and put me to bed. I simply decided to leave it that way for a time, seeing as I would not don the Azure Dragoon's helm again. Riange says, be thou assured that I am quite recovered. Lassie is truly a boon for unruly stomachs. Okay, I've completely recovered. Lassie is truly wonderful for nausea. On low tide, his stomach behaving once more, Thancred is ready to get to work. Right, let us split up and make inquiries in town. Gav, the pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetheryte, off-putting though the mere sight of it may be. All right. And as much as I was hoping for a little bit of combat, a little bit. I'm going to set this as a favorite destination. And take the Crystarium off, because we're not there anymore, sadly. But Endwalker's a lot of fun. Alright. Family's home and talking about getting into the movie, and we gotta work out logistics of dinner and things like that. So I'm going to leave it here for today and get to our cat joke. All right. Here's our cat joke for today. Why do cats have minty breath? They use mouthwash. Mouthwash. Okay, cats and kittens. That one was terrible. That one's actually so bad it's good. All right. If you can help us out, the channel grows, you know, like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping to get the Twitch alerts and things set up as we go along, but it takes a fair bit of sitting down and sussing it out and figuring out what's going on and make sure everything's working well and all that jazz. So I didn't want to rush it and then have things break in the middle of the stream, because I record these and upload them later, and I want to always have a good recording. Anyway, Saturday I will be once again doing the NUO Extreme. All right, I got signed up for that. And I have a Gridania guide coming out for anybody who is just starting the game. That should be coming out, I think, tomorrow as I record this. Okay. And I hope that people find it useful. I found a really efficient way of getting through the very earliest quests in the city itself and getting through your first dungeon. But this video that I'm putting out is going to concentrate on, you know, your first few levels within the city and getting used to how to play the game. All right. So if you know anybody who is coming into the game and they are a little bit confused about what's going on, you know, feel free to point them in that direction. And hopefully the people will find the guide useful. All right. All right, cats and kittens. You have a great one. MamaCatGamer is signing out for today. See you soon.